Coming up. Here they come right here. Rick Morton leading the way. Robert Gibson right behind. They have a match coming up, which we will talk to them about against the Gilberts. Yeah, here they come right here.
The boys are back in town. All right.
You guys have a stretcher match coming up here against these Gilberts. I know that especially has meaning to Rick, but also to both of you.
That's right. Let me tell you something, Gary Gilbert and Doug Gilbert. What we did, we come back, we did one thing. We run your butt all over that Coliseum. And what's going to happen now is going to be a stretcher match. And guys, one of us will be carried out. And it's not going to be the rock and roll.
We say one thing first, Dave. I want to thank all the nice fans for the great welcome back of the Rock and Roll Express. And we appreciate it, baby, because now we are home. But like you said, this is a stretcher match. And let me tell you something, Eddie Gilbert. Every second, every minute of the day, I think about when I wrestled you, brother, and they had to carry my father back to the dressing room. But you see, now this match right here, where the only way it can be over is to be carried back in a stretcher. And that's what we're here for. We told you, Gilberts, when the Rock and Roll Express get together, all we do is create stormy weather, baby. And I'm telling you one thing else. I told you, don't hold us responsible for what's going to happen, because we don't care about you, Doug Gilbert, Eddie Gilbert, going around and telling all these people that you're one of the greatest tag teams in the world. But we are here, and we're here to stay. And, brother, we're going to make it, and we're going to walk over you to get to the top.
That's the word from Rick Morton and Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express. You're going to see them in action right here, right now, as they climb into the ring for a match right here on USWA Championship Wrestling. They are set to go. There's a referee climbing into the ring, Kevin Christian. Oh, here comes the opponents, though. Here come the opponents, Mean Mike Miller and Mr. Clyde, led by Lauren Davenport, as they make their way up into the ring. Mike Miller steps through the ropes. I would guess he will be starting for his team. Well, Mr. Clyde steps in there. Referee Kevin Christian with the inspection. No, it's going to be Mr. Clyde starting, and he will be starting against Robert Gibson. Here we go. Action underway. Tag team action. Lauren Davenport wandering over here by the desk area.
I'm so sick and tired of hearing about that Rock and Roll Express. Those two are the most overrated boys in wrestling.
I don't know about that.
Who they ever beat, Dave Brown? They've never beat anybody.
Who have they ever beat? Well, you talk about four-time world champions in here. You ask who have they ever beat?
Yeah, they have certainly made their mark in the world of professional wrestling all around the world.
Oh, yes.
I'll guarantee you they won't be meeting Mr. Clyde and Mean Mike Miller this morning.
Well, Rick Morton looking pretty good so far against Mr. Clyde. He has him on the mat, picks him up, a little bit of hair pulling there maybe, but Rick backs him into the ropes. And Rock and Roll, look out, they dump him into the ropes, whip him into the ropes.
Double teaming them, Dave Brown. Say something about that. They're double teaming him.
Well, they double teamed him. They did double team him, no doubt about it. Mr. Clyde finding the going pretty tough here.
Robert.
My man Mike Miller gets in there, though.
Oh, look at that. Look at that move by Robert Gibson, and he follows it up.
What's with this street fight they got me in with Miss Texas? Miss Texas? Is that what they're calling her, Miss Texas?
That's exactly right.
The first thing I'm going to take off her is that wig.
Oh, Lauren, come on.
Lauren Davenport. Oh, look at that. Mr. Clyde finds himself thrown out of the ring, down on the floor. He came flying through the ropes. All right, how about that? Rick wants to know what you think about that one now, huh?
I don't have anything to say about it.
Nothing to say about that, yeah. Rick Morton, look at him. Oh, he popped him with that right hand. Mr. Clyde in trouble. Mike Miller in trouble. They run their heads together right here on the floor. And Rick takes Mr. Clyde, slides him back under the bottom rope into the ring where Robert Gibson is waiting.
Robert whips Clyde in.
All my fans out there, if you want to come see Miss Texas, if you want to see her with no clothes on, you don't have to pick up Playboy or Penthouse. Just come on down, and I'll be taking all her clothes off.
Oh, come on. Lauren Davenport, talking about a street fight coming up with Miss Texas here. Tell you what, you better be kind of concerned about Mike Miller, your man Mike Miller in there, who finds himself in a battle against Rock and Roll Express. His partner, Mr. Clyde, is having a long day already. Look at that. Rick Morton, great move.
I don't have to worry about Mike Miller. Mike Miller can hold his own.
Yeah, he's got to get the tag from Mr. Clyde in there first.
That's right. Mr. Clyde's being kept away from the tag.
Yeah, he hadn't had a chance to hardly breathe in there. Rock and Roll Express has been after him. Look at Ricky, he said. Lift him up over there. Boy, Clyde goes down again in there.
Boy, that hurts your ears, too, let me tell you.
Oh, I guess they tagged on that one, right, Dave Brown? I guess you saw him tag. I bet you did.
Frankly, I didn't see it. I was not watching for the tag there, and you may be right. They may not have. I don't know. I can't say for sure if they did or not. They usually do, though. Yeah, Rick. Little insult from Miss Davenport here. Any comment?
No comment again. Hey, look at Ricky roll Mr. Clyde up here, too. And Clyde kind of rolls over and gets out of the cover that Ricky had him in there. Had him rolled up good. Only got 2 out of it.
Hey, conference going on between Lauren Davenport and Mike Miller over here. I don't know what she told him. But their team is not doing well, that's for sure. What did you tell him there?
I gave him a little bit of pep talk, Dave Brown. Don't worry about it.
What did she tell him, and what did she give him one over there?
Well, that's also a possibility. Foreign object time. Oh, goodness gracious. Mr. Clyde, you can almost feel sorry for him. The Rock and Roll Express dominating. And Lauren Davenport may not be impressed with his team, but everybody else is.
Well, there's Mike Miller in there, and big backdrop on Ricky. Slamming away on Rick Morton. Mike Miller whips him into the rope. Oh, look at Robert come out there. Rolls him up. Watch out for Lauren Davenport.
Oh, boy, Lauren Davenport jumped in there. Interferes in the match.
She was over here running her mouth as usual. And just slid in there. Oh,
look out! Miss Texas has got her.
That's Miss Texas in.
Look at this action. Here's Lauren Davenport out of the ring. Mike Miller's got her. There they go. Mr. Clyde has the Battle of Rock and Roll Express by itself. Got a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, but there was should have been a disqualification when Lauren got in there. Rock and Roll Express wins it. Either way you look at it, Rick and Robert have themselves a victory. Miss Texas jumped in to help out. Oh, my goodness. Mr. Clyde is looking around like, did anybody get the license number of the truck? That old proverbial thing that he's got to be thinking there. Because there he goes. He has just been run over by the Rock and Roll Express. And I hope these 2 guys were watching closely right there. Dirty Doug and Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
You know, Dave Brown, it's real funny to me that Ricky Morton comes out here letting his alligator mouth overload his hummingbird butt. But let me tell you one thing. I'm sitting right here with my brother, the new king of professional wrestling, the world heavyweight wrestling champion. And they say stretcher match, Dave Brown. Do you know what we can do? We can bring a car in the Mid-South Coliseum, and we can run right over them. Can't we, King? Hey, what it boils down right to, boys, is whatever it takes, we will do. Tell them stuff.
You know, Dave, someone said to me earlier this week, Eddie, you seem to have a high-toned voice on television. So today I'm going to try to talk like Eddie Gilbert talks, and that seems to be the only way sometimes to get people to wake up and listen to something. Ricky Morton, you came back to the USWA, and you said you were going to become the world heavyweight champion. Well, I slipped on a banana peel one night, and I let you win it for 1 week. And when I felt like taking it back, I took it back. And then you wanted to blame my brother Doug for your loss. And so that was your reason. That was your thinking for getting on the phone after not being able to talk to Robert Gibson for almost 1.5 years, and you brought him back in to this area as the big rock and roll reunion. And then you want to try to steal all my girlfriends. You want to try to steal all my fans, all these beautiful women in this area, from Louisville, Kentucky, to Evansville, Indiana, to Nashville, Tennessee, even to Ripley, Tennessee, even here in Memphis, Tennessee. You want to try to steal my women? You want to talk about tag team wrestling? Well, we are wrestling. We are the greatest wrestling family in wrestling today. And this week, stretcher match, the only way that you can win, Dave, and you know what it is when your opponent gets carried out of the ring on a stretcher. Well, I'm going to add one little bonus to this, boys. The people are going to get to see the death of rock and roll this week, because both of you, not just one of you, will be carried out. And also, I would like to make my official announcement. I am now running for the presidency of the United States of America.
That's all we need. The Gilberts, they'll be back later on. They'll be in the ring. They'll have to face Lawler and Jarrett. USWA Championship Wrestling will continue after this.